basically what I'm saying is like, from a host perspective, because we so friendly as peas, real ones with these suckers, like they can't. It's how can you really expect them to be able to tell the difference? You dig? And it's the suckers that really give the game a black eye. But the problem is they blend in so good with us nowadays. A bitch can't tell the difference. So 9 times out of it's more of us than them too. You dig? So 9 times out of 10, when a bitch go to choose, the likelihood of her choosing a sucker is extremely high. You dig? The likelihood of her choosing a real one is extremely low. So 9 times out of 10, a bitch's first taste of the game is a bad one. You know, her her first impression of what a P is a bad one. You dig? A lot of them, the majority of bitches in the game start off like that. So, they continue in the game for years and years thinking that this is what the ism is when they really have no clue. You dig? And a big part of the reason for that is because us as real P's, like I said, we expect too much from them, and we are lazy when it comes to distinguishing ourselves from these suckers, man. And like I said, me myself, I'm just done with that because I'm really understanding the responsibility that I have to the game as a real one, man. Like I can't shake hands with suckers no more, man. I can't say what's up and kick it and chop it up with suckers no more. It's we make ourselves guilty by association. You dig? So us as real P's, we have to start doing the work of distinguishing ourselves from these suckers, man. It should be like what I would love to see in the game is a point where, you know, every real P in the game is just seen like is just so extremely distinguished, like unmistakably pimpish. Like you can't mistake him for no sucker. You dig? Like to the point where when a bitch see him, it's like I know he's a real one. It's a few of us in the game like that, now, but we have to really do the work of distinguishing ourselves from these suckers, man, because they getting a lot of mileage off of our realness. These suckers is getting a whole lot of mileage off of our realness, man, that they don't deserve. It's like it's just fucked up. Like let me give you an example of how us P's empower these suckers, man. Like me, for instance, myself, right, speaking for my own pimping, like I've made a whole lot of mistakes in this game. You dig? A lot of people respect me in the game. A lot of people respect my mind and my wisdom and the way that I speak and shit like that. You dig? The way that I carry myself, the way that I live. It's a lot of things that people respect about me. But it's not because I'm so special. You dig? I realize that I am blessed in a whole lot of ways, naturally, but at the same time, I've become who and what I am in the game because I've made a whole lot of mistakes along the way. You dig? Made a whole lot of mistakes along the way. And it's just fortunate for me, it's a blessing for me that I'm still here to talk about it, you dig? Because a lot of people make some of the same mistakes that I've made and they not here to talk about it, you dig? So I appreciate that blessing. But I say all this to say, like, I've paid a whole lot of dues in the game. I done been down cross country. I done took falls. I done leaked. I done, damn near every mistake that you can make in the game, respectably, I done made them. You dig? So somebody like me comes on social media and I get to popping it and everything, and it could be a sucker who ain't been down, who ain't even trying to pay dues, who ain't made no mistakes in the game, who ain't took no falls, who ain't learned from experience and gained wisdom through their experiences. You dig? But they see me, they see the way I dress, They see the way I talk. They see the way I carry myself. They see the way that I pop it. And they can study me to a point where they just learn so much of my mannerisms and just learn so much of my behavior that they can mimic it to a T. So here you have it, this sucker, you dig? He's able to mimic a real one like myself to a T without having to go through the same channels that I had to go through to get where I am. You dig? So if you look from the perspective of these bitches, they come and they see Freeze, and then they see this sucker ass nigga who walk like Freeze, talk like Freeze, dress like Freeze, move like Freeze. He do all the same shit that Freeze do, but she don't know the difference though. She don't know that this sucker didn't go through the same channels that Freeze went through to get where he is. You dig? So, I say all that to say, you know, me just being who I am, I just do that naturally, and it's not good enough. You dig? I have to, speaking for myself, I have to be more intentional about distinguishing myself from these suckers. You dig? Because as much as they study me, as much as they mimic me, and pattern their behavior after mine, and not just me, but a whole bunch of other P's, a whole bunch of other real ones that I could think of. You know what I mean? A bunch of my partners who I done really stomped down with. You dig? You know, they style and character and mouthpiece and everything like that is being mimicked as well. You dig? Some cats is like hybrid P's where they, steal a little bit from him. They like the way he dress. They like the way Hollywood dress. They like the way Sinful talk. They like the way Jinx, do his hair. It's just so much shit that they could copy from and, make themselves, the ultimate P that they want to be. But like I said, me speaking for myself, I've been lazy in the sense of distinguishing myself from these suckers, because as much as they study and mimic, it's just certain shit that a sucker can't do because they haven't been through the channels that I've been through. They just coming on the game. They just coming on the social media, stealing whatever little game that they can in order to mimic this pimping. But what they don't understand is they at an extreme disadvantage because they haven't went through the channels that I've gone through. You dig? See, one thing you can't copy and mimic is wisdom. You can only get that through experience. So that's just, I'm not going to give away too much, but that's just one advantage that I have over a sucker that's just coming online and stealing game and mimicking this shit. You dig? They don't have the wisdom that I have. You dig? But see, that's another crutch that we give them, because another problem that us as P's we have, like I said, a lot of us is just too friendly. We kind of welcome everybody that claim this shit without knowing anything about their background, without knowing anything that they done did in the game, and what dues they done paid, who they been down with and where, and all this type of shit, right? So, a lot of us we just welcome everybody who claim this shit, and the problem with that is we impart a lot of wisdom to these dudes. You dig? Like, we might see a sucker doing some sucker shit that could be costly to him online, and it's like, oh, hold on, P, you don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Because if you do that, this could happen to you. We know shit like that from experience, but we gotta stop doing that. We gotta stop waking these suckers up whenever they do sucker shit. It's just in their nature to do sucker shit. Like, I made a post last night, saying how, us as real P's, naturally, we're natural chess players. We just play chess with life naturally. That's just the way we are. As a real gentleman in this game, We play chess, and what I mean by playing chess is before we make the first move, we know how that first move is going to affect the 10th move down the line. You dig? We taking this first step knowing how it's going to end up by the time we get to the 10th step. You dig? So now, of course, you know, somebody who's been in the game 20 years is going to be a better chess player more than likely than somebody who's been in the game 5 years. You dig? But we still chess players nonetheless. You dig? So, but it's a lot of cats in the game that's not chess players by nature. You dig? So by them not being chess players, they not, how could you be a P and you're not a chess player? So basically, when I say somebody's not a chess player by nature, you know what else they not. You know, they definitely can't be the ism. So because they're not chess players, they do a lot of, you know, lame shit in the name of the game. And like I said, a problem with us real ones, you know, because we got so much love for the game and we don't want to see anybody, you know, make a costly mistake, we impart wisdom to them that they don't deserve. You did. We got to stop doing that. You know, I say we because I know I myself have been guilty of the same thing before. You dig? But it's 2017, man. We gotta stop just sitting back and watching the game go downhill. You dig? We have to work within our control. You know, it's a lot of shit that's beyond our control. We can't make these hoes respect the game. We can't make these suckers get out the game. We can't make nobody do nothing. But what we can do is work with this, what's within our control. And it's within our control as real ones to distinguish ourselves clearly, to separate ourselves. You dig? Move in such a way that cannot be mimicked. It's just certain shit about this real shit that just cannot be faked. It cannot be mimicked. You dig? And a lot of us have just been lazy when it comes to that distinction between us and them. We got to stop that, man. You know, it's just it's sad, man. We got to get better, man. We got to get better. You dig? And a big part of it is mastery of self, man. A lot of us have been lazy when it comes to mastery of self. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I've been guilty of the same shit. You know, I've been guilty of not mastering myself completely. You dig? Because us as P's, it's certain areas of ourselves that we have so mastered. It's certain areas of ourselves as P's that we have so down packed, so mastered. And by us having this one area so mastered, we neglect a whole lot of other areas.